Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So on today's video we are going to learn how to cut and sew the circle skirt, which is also known as a flay skirt, a 360 flay skirt. So guys, let's get right into the tutorial. So you're going to get your fabric. I'm using an Ankara fabric for this tutorial, and you are going to fold your fabric in bias, in triangular form. Can you see? You're going to fold it as if it's a triangle. Fold your fabric in a triangle form. Can you see? After which you are going to go ahead and you're going to divide your waist measurement by 4. We're going to divide your waist measurement by 4. So the waist I'm using here is 36 inches divided by 4. So whatever you get, you're going to use it to, I got 9 inches, so I'm going to add 1.5, so it will now be 10.5 inches. So I'm going to place the 10.5 inches. I'm not going to place it to be straight. I'm going to make it to be a little bit curve, just a little curve. It is not going to be entirely straight. So this is 10.5 inches. So 9 inches is the normal waist divided by 4, and 1.5 is for allowance. So I'm going to go ahead and start from that part that I marked out to get the skirt length. Now for this person, I'm using a skirt length of 45 inches. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to mark from that marked part. You're going to get 45 inches. You're going to do so all the way. So watch out to see how I'm going to do that in this video. So mark out 45 inches. I'm going to move my tape still on that line. Move your tape, get 45 inches and mark out. So you're going to do it this way so that the down part of your circle dress is going to get like a semi-circle. So you're going to also move your tape again and get 45 inches. Get 45 inches. So if you notice that, move your tape and get 45 inches. So if you notice, one part of this skirt is not going to give us that 45 inches. The edge is not going to give us that 45 inches. Can you see? So this is most likely going to happen, but you're going to just ignore, go ahead and cut out, and you are going to join to that part so that you can get your 45 inches. This happens in most occasions. It is inevitable for long circle skirt or circle gown. So you're going to add up fabric. Can you see? That's what I'm doing. I wasn't aware that part was not showing very well, but you're going to add up fabric. I am pinning down the fabric that I want to add up. Can you see? You're going to add up fabric. Add up fabric. And you are going to measure your 45 inches. So you are going to measure 45 inches from the marked part and mark it out. Okay, so you measure 45 inches, you mark it out. You move, measure 45. Remember, 45 inches is just the skirt length of this particular person. A skirt length can be anything that you measure. So, but I'm using 45 inches for this person. Then you go ahead and cut out this side, the side that the fabric ended after getting your triangle, go ahead and cut it off and then cut out our upper part, and this is it. Our front piece is ready, but inside we have a part that's short. Can you see? So we're also going to join that part, but let's go ahead and cut the back piece first before we join that part. So you're going to fold your fabric for the back piece the same way you folded for the front piece, and you're going to go ahead and place your front piece or your back piece. So while placing, you're going to make sure you have at least 2 inches or 1.5 inches at the center for your zipper allowance for the back. So that is what I am trying to achieve here, my zipper allowance for the back. If this is your first time coming across this channel, thank you very much for stopping by. Please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button. Also turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever we drop a new post. Please don't forget to drop your thoughts, your comments via the comment section. So that is the zipper allowance. I used 2 inches for the zipper allowance. So I'm just going to mark out what I have for the front piece for the back piece, and I'm going to just trace it out. So the only difference for the back piece is your zipper allowance, which is also going to be split into 2. So that is the only difference for the back piece. You're going to go ahead and you're going to slit open that zipper allowance. You're going to slit it open. The zipper allowance for the back piece, slit it open. And you're going to go ahead and notch. You're going to go ahead and notch. And that is it. You're going to also mark that part so that you are going to know the part that is for the zipper allowance, because if you don't mark it out, you get confused which part is the zipper allowance. So this is a part that's short inside, so I'm going to join up this part. I'm going to go ahead and join. So you're going to get your fabric and place to join for the part that's short. Mind you guys that this is almost inevitable, especially for Ankara fabric. Sometimes for fabrics that have over 60 inches width, you can cut your circle skirts without having a need to join. But for Ankara fabrics, this is almost inevitable, especially for long circle skirts. So you are just going to pin, and you're going to go ahead to your sewing machine and you're going to join. Or you're just going to, after pinning, you're just going to bring it down and make sure it's smooth enough, and then you're going to mark out. Can you see that even though we pinned for joining, by this time you can't even differentiate the part that is going to have the joining, because it is going to be very neat. So do not be afraid to join. So you're going to start from the upper part and also get your 45 inches and mark, 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 and after doing that, you're going to go ahead and you're going to cut off the excess. You're going to cut all the excess. So we are done joining the back piece, so we are going to also go ahead and join the front piece using the same method, the same process. Using the same process, you are going to go ahead and join for the front piece. And this is it. Piece is ready, and then I've already cut lining. You take note that I cut the exact piece, the lining, I cut with the exact measurement for the fabric, but I'm going to short it by half inch. So you cut the exact measurement of the fabric and you short by half inch. Can you see? I short it by half inch. You can also decide to short by 1 inch, but for flares, I don't like shorting much for my flares. So this is also for the back. I also cut for the back. Just cut the exact, what you have for the fabric and short by half inch. And then let's go to the sewing machine. So before going to the sewing machine, we are going to get the part that we are going to join. So this is the down part of the front piece. You are going to go ahead and notch the center of the down part of the front piece. You are going to go ahead and notch. You are going to open it up. This is the back of the front piece. So this is the front. So you're going to open it up, the front facing you, and you are going to take your lining and you are going to place your lining. You're going to place that notch part against the notch part on your fabric. So you're going to make sure the two notches, the notch for the fabric and the notch for the lining kisses, and you're going to go ahead and pin down. So that notch part, that is where you're going to start your joining. Remember, this is the back piece and the front will face upwards. The front will face you. So you go ahead and pin from that notched part. Now while joining, you are going to join from the center, that is from the notch part to one end, and then you are going to come back and join from the center, that is the notch part, to the other end. Make sure you join your flay like this. If you join your flay from the center to one end, then come back from the center to the other end, you are going to get a perfect flay. If there is any remaining fabric or remaining lining, it will just be shared equally because you started joining from the center. But if you don't join from the center, if you start from one edge to join all the way, you might have all the excess one side, which is very bad. So we are going to go ahead now and join. Start from the center, join to the edge, come back to the center, join to the other end, after which you are going to top stitch. After which you are going to top stitch on your lining. You are going to push all the sewing one side and top stitch on the lining. So this is what we have. I've sewn and I've top stitched. Can you see? So this is it. This is what it looks like. Can you see? This is what it looks like. I've top stitched, and after that you are going to go ahead and you are going to place your fabric like so. You are going to your fabric like so, the lining part still facing you, or even if it's the Ankara part that is facing you, just make sure that you are still working on the back of the fabric of your cotton. Make sure you're still working on the back of your cotton. So you go ahead and drag your lining to the edge of the front of the fabric. That is where you're going to start sewing straight down. You're going to start there to sew straight down for both sides. Start from the upper part. Make sure your lining is at the upper part, at the upper edge of your fabric, your Ankara. Then you're going to sew by the side from the up all the way down. And after that, you're going to go ahead and turn over so that you now have the front of your fabric, of your material. So this is it. I'm done sewing. I've sewn and I've turned over. I've also ironed. Can you see? So all the roughness of the sewing is now inside. So this is now the front of the fabric. All the roughness of the sewing is now inside. Can you see? So this is now the front of the fabric. Then you are going to sew on top after you have turned from the upper part of the fabric. So I also did the same for the back. You also go ahead and do the same for the back. Remember, the back will come in two pieces because you slit it open because of zipper allowance. So you're also going to close that zipper allowance. So this part that you're seeing the fabric on for the back is the zipper allowance. You're going to go ahead and give your zipper, the length for your zipper, and you're going to close the rest. So you're going to align your front and your back piece. So you're going to sew all the way down. Now, if you want to sew a pocket, you can also attach a pocket, but I'm not talking about pockets on this tutorial. So this is our band. Our band is 2.5 inches. You iron your stay on it and you fold in half inch both sides. Can you see? We'll go ahead and sew our band and then close, and this is what it looks like. If you want me to make a tutorial on how to sew an inner pocket like this, let me know in the comment section. So this is the outcome of our circle skirt. I'm going to wear it so you guys can see, though it is not my measurement. This is not my measurement, but this is what it looks like, our circle skirt. Can you see how full and beautiful it is? You can't even point out the part that we joined. That is because it is very neat. Thank you guys. Please make sure to hit on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Also, don't forget to drop your comments and your thoughts via the comment section, and see you on my next tutorial. Bye.